Now at one point or another, I bet you've all been lying awake at night just thinking to yourselves, I wonder how Icelandic political propaganda looks like. Well, I'm gonna look at a few examples with you. Now, I bet somebody might ask, how are Icelandic elections financed? And I'm just gonna answer it right here. I have absolutely no idea. Only thing I do know is that an individual or entity, a person or a ghost is allowed to donate up to 550,000 kronor either a year or before every election to a political party of their choosing. Maybe they can do it to more than one, I don't know, but yeah. Oh yeah, and of course political parties that are already in parliament get some grants from the government in order to run their campaigns. Anyway, let's now talk about the propaganda itself. Now, how political parties will advertise, of course, depends a little bit about, on the voting base. So, for example, the Party of the People, they don't get a lot of votes from young people, so I just don't think they even try to cater much to them, so you won't see a lot of, Instagram or TikTok adverts from them. Maybe there is. I don't use either of these social media platforms, so I don't know. Maybe they have a huge TikTok presence, but I wouldn't know. But yeah, because many of their voters are elderly people, you can hear them on the radio a lot. Very short ads that just go betra samfélag fyrir öryrkja og aldraða. Something very short and easy. So it is also very common that for every campaign that a political party will pick a slogan of sorts. For example, Framsóknarflokkurinn this year is going with the slogan Framtíðin ræðst á miðjunni, or the future is made in the center, I think would be a good translation. I'm not a fan of this particular slogan, but whatever. For example, there was one ad which I'm unable to download because it's on a web player which I cannot download from, but whatever. It was like the right wing the right wing doesn't believe in climate change. The left wing wants to force you to use cardboard straws instead of plastic straws. Isn't it just best to be on the middle and vote progressive? Something like that. Oh, I forgot. There is one. I did find one video from the Progressive Party, which I'm just going to show real quickly.
Það verður kannski erfiðar að fá pössun, en ef amma vill vinna eftir 70, þá á amma bara að fá að vinna. Framsókn segir, aldur skiptir ekki máli. Afnemum allar kröfur að fólk fara á eftirlaun við ákveðin aldur. Þeir sem vilja vinna, mega vinna. Ekki bara best að kjósa Framsókn. XB, framtíðin ræðst á miðjunni.
Now, I'm just going to show you a few videos that I found that other parties have made. First, let's start off with Iceland's Conservative Party, the Independence Party. Now, I think overall their campaign this year is fantastic. And then again, they usually have a pretty good campaign. Actually, no. The campaign they had both in the city election 2 years ago and also the 2017 election were both pretty lackluster in my mind. But now they have a new slogan which is called Land Tækifæranna, or the Land of Opportunity. I'm just going to show you a couple of ads that they made.
Við finnum núna hvað stöðugleikinn okkur mikilvægur. Stöðugleikinn hefur leitt til þess að vextir hafa lækkað hressilega og tugþúsundir Íslendinga hafa þannig geta endurfjármagna sín lán og þannig bætt sín lífskjör. Stöðugleikinn gerir Ísland að landi tækifæranna.
And here is one featuring Kolbrún Þórdís Gylfadóttir Reykfjörð.
Orkuskipti eru líklega stærsta framlag Íslands til umhverfismála og það Sjálfstæðisflokkurinn sem ætlar í alvöru aðgerðir í loftslagsmálum. Það algjörlega raunhæft fyrir okkur að skipta orkugjafa í bílum, á sjó og í flugi og þá getum við notað okkar eigin hreinu orku, sparað gjaldeyri og leið byggt upp nýja hugvitsdrifna atvinnugrein á Íslandi, landi tækifæranna.
So yeah, the reason I say why they're running a very good campaign is because they are definitely trying to reach a very broad base of voters, which is what they have usually tried to do, but in the past 10 years or so, you know, a lot of their like more general working class vote has been sort of slipping away, and now it's mainly just the party of high income earners. But the Independence Party historically was always a party that could easily rely on getting 32 up and sometimes 40% of the votes, or sometimes even more, because they appeal to a very broad section of society. You know, basically everyone who just wants to have some personal freedoms, and especially economic freedoms, and just wants to earn a living, basically. And I think they're trying to sort of brand themselves as, you know, that kind of political party. And, well, we're just going to have to see how effective they're going to be. I'm still, like, all the polls indicate that they're going to, you know, keep, they currently have 16 MPs, which is the lowest number of MPs that they've ever had, except for the last time when they had 16 MPs. And all the polls indicate that they're going to have, the same, that they're going to keep their 16 MPs. I think that's absolute bullcrap. I think all the polls are getting it wrong. I will be shocked if they don't get at least 18 MPs. But I think 19 or 20 would be more likely. Oh, and obviously, you know, all of the parties will be selling merchandise, like this cap right here, you know, to promote their image. I guess the general idea is, you know, I put this cap on, I walk down the street, and somebody will see me and be all like,
"Wow, look at Johan, he's so handsome, walking around with his brand new Framsóknar basketball cap. I wish I could be more like him. Maybe I can."
So the Social Democratic Alliance, or Samfylkingin, they have also released a few ads, also the same general idea where they are, just take one of their candidates, like, "Come here, candidate." What am I gonna do? Spread propaganda. Okay. Okay, well, this went into a weird direction. So Samfylkingin, or the Social Democratic Alliance, has a very similar sort of ad setup. You know, one of their candidates will just be on screen for a minute or a minute and a half and just sort of explain who they are, why they are a Social Democrat, and why you should vote Social Democratic as well. However, I don't think their ads are just quite as effective as the ones from the Independence Party. Here's a short one featuring Helga Vala Helgadóttir. I've actually met Helga Vala once, and, you know, I don't know, I only met her briefly. Seemed like an all-around nice person, but yeah, here's the ad.
Ég brenn fyrir betra samfélagi og mér langar einlæglega að gera allt sem ég get til að fleirum líði betur. Og nú þarf að taka pólitíska ákvörðun að auka hér velsæld allra, ekki bara sumra. Það gerum við með því að styðja betur við barnafjölskyldur, betur við eldra fólk og þau sem þurfa á stuðningi samfélagsins að halda vegna fötlunar eða sjúkdóma. En það gerum við líka með því að jafna tækifæri til náms, með því að tryggja öruggt húsnæði og bæta hér til muna heilbrigðiskerfið sem því miður hefur orðið fyrir höggi í tíð núverandi ríkisstjórnar. Við í Samfylkingunni boðum sókn gegn sérhagsmunum. Við boðum ábyrgari efnahagsstjórn og síðast en ekki síst alvöru aðgerðir í loftslagsmálum.
Now, one thing that I've noticed with the polls recently is that the Social Democrats are not pulling nearly as strongly as I would have expected them to. I would have expected, you know, they're coming out of a 4-year-long opposition, you know, they've gotten themselves back into shape, you know, they're gonna wish away some of the voters of either Framsóknarflokkurinn or the left Greens, which are dissatisfied with the current coalition government and or whatever, or, you know, come with a new and invigorated new platform, but yeah, they're just sort of hanging in there with around 10% of the total vote count according to polls. And I think one of the reasons might be this ad which I'm about to show you. By the way, the ad that I just showed you, I actually shortened it just a little bit to make it more compact. Now I'm going to show you a full-length ad and see if you can spot what's wrong with it.
Ég var tvítugur þegar ég flutti hingað norður á Akureyri og mér leið strax alveg svakalega vel hérna. Ég vann við jafningjafræðslu í Reykjavík í kjölfar þess að ég hætti í neyslu og fór í meðferð. Ég fekk tækifæri til þess að sinna jafningjafræðslu hér fyrir norðan og það var ákaflega gefandi. Ég hef alltaf haft ríka þörf til þess að gefa af mér. Kannski kemur þessi þörf frá því að ég hef sjálf þurft á samfélaginu að halda og það er að vissu leyti svona eðlilegt framhald að reyna að gefa af sér þegar maður er komin í þá stöðu að geta það. Og svo hef ég reynda líka alltaf haft ákaflega sterka réttlætiskennd. Þessi kjarni hefur líklega alltaf verið í mér. Ég fór í kennaranám, var formaður félags stúdenta við Háskólann á Akureyri og úr kennslunni þá fór ég í fjölmiðla þar sem ég hef starfað sem dagskrárgerðarmaður og fréttamaður á Aksjón, Stöð 2 og RÚV og lokum á N4 þar sem ég sinnti meðal annars hlutverki framkvæmda og sjónvarpsstjóra. Í gegnum þetta ferðalag þá hafa mínar eigin pólitísku línur skýrst frekar vel. Við búum í samfélagi sem verður að geta gripið alla, líka þau okkar sem að detta harkalega. Og við verðum að tryggja að það sé gott að búa allstaðar á landinu. Ekki bara að það sé vinna í boði, það þarf líka að tryggja almenn lífsgæði. Í hjarta mínu er ég jafnaðarmaður og ég trúi því að aukin jöfnuður sé augljós stefna fram á við. Ég er reiðubúin til að leggja mig alla fram fyrir samfélagið mitt og þess vegna býð ég fram krafta mína í komandi alþingiskosningum. Ég heiti Hilda Jana Gísladóttir og skipa annað sætið á lista Samfylkingarinnar í Norðausturkjördæmi.
Too long, too bland. I'm not against the substance of the ad or, the policies. In fact, I kind of like them, but it's just like, it just feels so ponderous and just overly long and just, ugh. Anyway, let's just end up with the left greens. So, I don't have any ads to show you there, but their slogan this year is "Það skiptir máli hver stjórnar," which means it matters who is in charge. It matters who is in charge. Well, I guess it just has a better sound than saying, hey, the Prime Minister has an approval rating of 67%. Clearly she's doing something correctly. Don't you want to keep her in office? Yeah. So, instead of showing an ad, I'm just going to show you a short clip here of Katrín Jakobsdóttir giving a speech during the recent Left Green Party conference where she talks about the pandemic.
Og við getum öll verið þakklátt fyrir það hver samstaða þjóðarinnar og úthald hefur reynst mikið. Og það er mikilvægt því þetta hefur verið 14 mánaða barátta. Við höfum staðið saman með skýr markmið að leiðarljósi og leið hefur faraldurinn gert öllum ljóst þau verðmæti sem við eigum til að mynda í þessu öfluga, opinbera heilbrigðiskerfi þar sem allir eiga jafnan aðgang og ég þreytist ekki á að tala hvar sem ég fer í viðtölu í heiminum, hversu mikil verðmæti þetta eru, hvað stórar kvennastéttir eru mikilvægir burðarásar fyrir samfélag okkar, hvernig fólk út allt samfélag hefur staðið vaktina, skólarnir sem hafa haldið áfram við erfiðar aðstæður, vísindafólk og fagfólk sem hefur sett allt annað til hliðar til að vinna samfélagi sínu gagn á ögurstundi, öll þau sem hafa staðið í framlínunni, í verslunum, strætisvögnunum, lögreglunni, almannavörnum og ég get ekki talið upp alla því þetta hefur, í raun og veru höfum þetta verið við flest. Við höfum staðið vaktina, við höfum sinnt skyldum okkar fyrir samfélagið og þetta finnst mér vera aðalsmerki á góðu samfélagi, hvernig við höfum látið hagsmuni samfélagsins ganga fyrir öllu öðru. En kæru félagar, bólusetningar ganga vel, þær ganga örugglega, þær ganga hratt.
So yeah, does that sound like somebody who should be leading a country? I think it totally does. But what do you think? Do you think this propaganda is effective? Do you like it, or or at least the way it's conducted, not necessarily the policies? So please tell me what you think, and if you have any other video suggestions, just put them in comments. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting and informative, and like and subscribe and all of that. Also, one thing. So, obviously, I don't live alone. I have some flatmates, and one of my flatmates is from a certain Eastern European country, not Poland or Lithuania, in case you're wondering, no. And she asked, hey, what are you doing in your room? Oh, I'm filming a video about Icelandic politics and making fun at political propaganda and stuff like that. She's like, oh, that's so nice. it's good that you live in a country where you can do that without, you know, living in fear of being arrested. Yes, you know, that is very nice. And you know what else? Guð blessi Ísland.
Ég vil biðja ykkur að minnast með mér fósturjarðarinnar. Lifi Ísland! Húrra! Húrra!